Can I give you a peek of like my costume? I'm gonna see if you guys can figure it out. Hi guys, it is day 30, shit. Today is my second last day. I watched Seventh Moon today. I want to say first up, this is an original idea. It's not executed the best, but I do really appreciate this movie, and I appreciate, once again, you know me, I always say I appreciate the ideas. I feel like, especially with 31 Days of Horror, I really can feel myself saying the same thing, but it's just because I guess I'm watching films back to back to back to back, so it feels like I'm getting similar feelings from some of the films. And you know me, I appreciate an original storyline. I really liked the aspect in this one, which the film is about the Hungry Ghost Festival, it's called. Yes, which is an exotic Chinese festival. And in this one, two Americans are on their honeymoon and they go to China and they are experiencing this festival when their tour guide kind of drops them off in the middle of nowhere. And I love this idea. It's like tourism in horror, which I'm a big fan of, and it is incorporating some spirituality, which I really like, and I really like obviously Eastern Eye Asian horror movies. And I thought this one was actually going to be an Asian horror movie, but it is just an American one. What's really interesting in this one is there is no subtitles, so when people are speaking in Cantonese, you actually can't understand them, and it would be really interesting for someone who can speak both English and Cantonese watching this film and understanding what everyone is actually saying, because you're living through like the eyes of being like an American and not understanding what's happening, like an American tourist in the situation, and having everything kind of translated for you by someone else. So I think that's really cool and very interesting, but the film does fall flat on its face, as we were waiting for, but not as hard as you think. I'd say there's two bad things about this film that really bring it down a couple of notches, one being the production value. They really did try with the, I'm gonna say entities, just because I don't want to tell you anything and I want to leave it quite open. They did really try, but the special effects makeup was very poor, but it is makeup, so it's practical effects, and which is great. It's not CGI. So I think that that is better in this regard, but again, the production value kind of brought that down. The second thing is I felt like they were trying to hide that in the dark, and this film is just pure black darkness at most times. So you're seeing people kind of scurry in the dark, which I think is scary, but it gets to a point where you're like, I just want to see something and I can't actually see what's going on. And don't watch this film in the daylight. I watched this film during the day, in the afternoon, and it's just much better to watch it at night because obviously it's so dark. I think this film has a really beautiful ending. The music comes in a beautiful way, and it definitely gave me some sad feels. It's just the production value that really lowered it, but I do think it's great as an idea. Like, I love the idea of someone going on a honeymoon somewhere and somehow they get mixed into this spiritual festival, which, you know, kind of, yeah, takes a toll. And yeah, it's just a really sad ending. I love spiritual movies, and I love when they incorporate the kind of haunting and ghosts and how the ghosts linger, you know, like the imprint of ghosts in Asian culture. I think it's really interesting and really cool, and actually something really scary and misunderstood. So I love that. I do think that the Americans, Amy Smart and Tim Cho, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, I think they played the perfect American couple. They were overly obnoxious, and I don't mean that to offend anyone. They actually allude to it and say it in the movie. They get drunk and they're just being really annoying, and like, it's just a tourist thing, and tourists do this everywhere. I shouldn't just say America, but you know what I mean. And I think that was played perfectly, and it was fun and interesting, and I liked it. I think that it's an original idea. I just don't think the execution was 100%, but I do think it's a really interesting and scary concept. Once again, another film I wouldn't mind being remade. I do recommend checking this one out though, because I just really like the idea. And if you're into writing, I know a lot of you guys write stories or do screenplays and stuff like that, this is a good film for that this is a great film for that, the structure. And sometimes it's good to watch these films and to learn their downfall, and it will like help you when you're writing a script, if that makes sense. So this is definitely a good film for that. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. I know, surprising, right? I was gonna go with a 5, but I really liked the ending. Like, the ending gave me a lot of feels. Just the combination of music and the way that it was filmed and put together. It's very realistic. It's not really, as I said, the production value is low, but it's also filmed in a way that it's almost like it's a found footage, but it's not. Obviously there's a third person filming, the cameraman, but it's like shaky in a way that you feel like you're there, which I really liked. Anyway, that is how I feel today. Guys, can I give you a peek of like my costume? I'm gonna see if you guys can figure it out. I'm not even gonna get close. There's some paint. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. Zoom up if you can. I'm trying not to give it away, but I kind of want to. I'm working on my costume. I have 2 costumes. I need to get these done. I need to dye something for my costume, and I need to edit this, and then tomorrow I've got to watch my last video, and then we're done. And then I can go see Halloween, the new Halloween, finally. So many spoilers. But I am so excited. Thank you guys so much for all the lovely comments. I really appreciate you guys. I don't think you know how much I appreciate you. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for the final 31 days of horror. Until then, stay spooky. Bye guys.